In a hidden corner of the warm South Pacific, where coral reefs shimmered like underwater rainbows, lived a tiny mandarin fish named Miro, with vibrant scales that looked like they'd been painted by a magical artist. Blue as the ocean, orange like a sunset, and green like sea grass. Miro was one of the most beautiful fish in the entire reef. But despite his dazzling appearance, Miro was incredibly shy. He lived deep within the crevices of the coral maze, speaking out only when he was sure no one was watching. While other fish swam boldly through the reef, playing games and exploring, Miro preferred the safety of his cozy coral nook. He wasn't afraid of sharks or eels, he just didn't like being the center of attention. Every morning, Miro would peek out to watch the reef come alive. Schools of fish danced in the sunlight, sea turtles glided lazily through the water. Tiny shrimp cleaned the sand, while clownfish bounced between anemones. And then there was Tula, the talkative tang, who zipped around chatting with everyone. "Good morning, Miro," Tula called one day, stopping just outside his coral cave. "You should come join us. There's going to be a reef race today." Miro ducked behind a bit of coral. "No, thank you," he mumbled. "I'll just watch from here." Tula tilted her head. "You're always hiding. You'd be great in the race. You're small and quick. What are you afraid of?" Miro sighed. He didn't know how to explain it. He loved the reef, but he felt too bright, too colorful, too different. What if everyone stared? What if he made a mistake? That night, as the reef quieted down and the moonlight danced across the water, Miro swam slowly through the coral tunnels. He loved the nighttime. Everything was calm and quiet, and he could explore without being seen. As he turned a corner, he heard a strange sound, a soft whimpering. Following the nose, he found a small sea horse tangled in a fishing net that had drifted into the reef. "Oh no," Miro gasped. The sea horse was tiny and scared. "Help, please, I'm stuck." Miro's heart pounded. He had never done something brave like this before, but he couldn't just leave. Taking a deep breath, he darted toward the net. His small size made it easy to weave between the tangled threads. Carefully, he pulled and tugged, using his fins to untangle the seahorse. After a few minutes, the net loosened, and the little creature wiggled free. "Thank you," the seahorse cried. "I thought I was done for." Miro smiled shyly. "I'm just glad you're okay." "I'm Luma," said the seahorse. "What's your name?" "I'm Miro." "Well, Miro, that was the bravest thing I've ever seen." Miro swam home with a warm feeling. Maybe being small didn't mean being scared. The next morning, word of Miro's brave rescue had already spread through the reef. Tula zipped into Miro's nook, practically bubbling with excitement. "Miro, you're famous. Everyone's talking about how you saved Luma." Miro blinked. "They are?" "Yes. Even old Grandpa Turtle said he's proud of you." Miro felt both nervous and proud. He hadn't meant to get attention, but maybe, just maybe, it wasn't so bad. Later that day, Luma returned with a tiny seashell necklace. "A thank you gift," she said with a shy smile. "You helped me. Now I want to help you." "Huh?" Miro asked. "I know a secret place, a hidden lagoon filled with glowing coral. No one goes there except a few quiet creatures. You'll love it." Miro was curious. That night, under the moonlight, he followed Luma through twisting tunnels and kelp forests until they reached a glowing blue cave. Inside, the water sparkled and the walls shimmered with soft light. Tiny jellyfish floated like stars. Miro gasped. It was like swimming inside a dream. "It's beautiful," he whispered. "This place is special," Luma said. "It makes you feel brave." They swam in silence for a while, watching glowing shrimp flicker like fireflies. Miro felt peaceful, and something new stirred in him, a sense of belonging. Suddenly, a distant rumble echoed through the water. The glowing lights flickered. "What was that?" Luma whispered. They swam cautiously toward the cave entrance. In the distance, they saw a large, dark shadow moving across the reef floor. "It's a human boat," Miro said, "and it's dropping something." A heavy net sank from the surface, landing near the reef's edge. Curious fish swam to close and became tangled. Miro's heart raced. "We have to warn the reef," Luma nodded. "Let's go." They raced back through the tunnels, dodging seaweed and startled crabs. When they burst out into the reef, Tula and the others were still playing. "Everyone, get back," Miro shouted. "There's a net. It's coming toward the reef." The fish froze. Tula blinked. "Are you sure?" "I saw it," Miro said. "It's already caught some fish." "Then we need to help," said Tula. Miro, Luma, and Tula led the way. They gathered a group of brave reef dwellers, including sharp-toothed parrotfish and fast-darting wrasses. Together, they planned to free the trapped fish, and for the first time, Miro didn't hide, he led. As the net slowly crept across the reef floor, Miro and the others sprang into action. Miro zipped through the coral, calling out for help from every creature he could find. "Everyone who can cut or pull, come with us. The net's trapping our friends." The parrotfish used their strong beaks to nibble through the thick ropes. The cleaner shrimp worked their way into the smallest knots. Even the shy eels slithered out from their caves to help. It was a whole reef effort. Miro wove through the net with Luma close behind, finding frightened fish and calming them down. "It's going to be okay," he said gently. "We're getting you out." One by one, they freed a trapped clownfish, a flounder, and even a large angelfish. The net was heavy, but with so many working together, it began to weaken. Suddenly, a loud creaking echoed from above. The boat was pulling the net back up. "Hurry!" Tula shouted. "We're running out of time." Miro darted to the center, where a little goby fish was stuck, his fins caught deep in the mesh. "I can't move," cried the goby. "I'll get you out," Miro said firmly. He twisted, turned, and tugged at the net. His vibrant fins brushed against the sharp threads, but he didn't stop. Finally, with a snap, the goby slipped free. "Go, swim," Miro yelled. As the net rose, the last of the fish darted out. The reef shook as the heavy mesh was pulled away, leaving only a few torn threads behind. The reef exploded into cheers. Fish swirled in colorful spirals, singing Miro's name. "You were amazing," Tula beamed. "You led everyone," said Luma proudly. "You're not just brave, you're a hero." Miro blushed, his fins glowing brighter than ever. He never imagined he'd do something like that. But the greatest reward wasn't the praise, it was the feeling deep inside. Courage, warm and strong, like sunlight through the sea. The next morning, Miro swam through the reef like never before. He wasn't hiding. He moved with confidence, his colorful fins shimmering in the morning light. As he passed coral towers and seagrass meadows, reef creatures waved and called out his name. "Miro, you're amazing. Thanks for saving the reef. You're a hero, little fish." Miro smiled. He wasn't used to all the attention, but it no longer scared him. He felt proud not because he was famous, but because he had helped others and discovered strength he never knew he had. At the coral playground, Tula zipped over. "Miro, it's the celebration swim today. It's not a race, just a joyful swim to celebrate everything we've overcome. You have to join." Miro hesitated for a moment. Not long ago he would have said no, but now he nodded. "I'd love to." The reef gathered at the starting area. Colorful shells marked the course, and glowing jellyfish lit the way. Schools of fish floated in the current, cheering. Grandpa Turtle raised a flipper. "Swimmers ready. On your marks, get set, go." Miro dashed forward, the water cool and smooth around him. The path twisted past sea fans and coral arches under dancing seaweed. He wasn't the fastest. Tula zipped ahead like lightning, but he didn't care. He swam with joy. He waved to a baby pufferfish, helped a crab flip over, and spun in loops just for fun. When he crossed the finish line, cheers filled the reef. "You were amazing, Miro." Luma beamed beside him. "Not because you won, but because you enjoyed it. You smiled the whole way," said Tula. "You made everyone else smile too." That night the reef gathered under the glowing moon. Lanternfish danced in patterns, and sea anemones pulsed to the rhythm of gentle music played by clams and shrimp. Miro floated near the center, surrounded by friends. Grandpa Turtle came forward. "Tonight, we honor Miro not for being the strongest or the fastest, but for being the heart of the reef." His courage reminded us that even the smallest among us can make the biggest difference. Miro blushed. He turned to Luma. "I used to think being different meant I had to hide." Luma smiled. "But your colors, your kindness, your courage, that's what makes you special. You didn't just save the reef, you inspired it." Miro looked up. Above the reef, the water shimmered with moonlight. Tiny bubbles floated around him like stars. He had found more than courage. He had found a family, a place to belong, and a reason to shine. From that day on, Miro swam boldly, his colors glowing brighter than ever. He still visited quiet corners and loved moonlit swims, but now he wasn't hiding. He was exploring, sharing, belonging, and the reef would always remember the day a tiny mandarin fish named Miro taught them all that true bravery comes in the most brilliant colors.